At a family gathering, my cousin bragged, "I stole your job promotion by sending fake emails in your name." The room fell silent as she laughed. "You'll never work there again." I calmly pulled out a folder. "Funny, because HR just sent me these emails from you." Her smile dropped as my boss walked in behind me. Family gatherings at my house were always a mix of love, food, and quiet competition. I have a cousin, Sophia. We're the same age, grew up together, went to the same schools, and ended up in the same career field. The only difference? She was always the favorite. It didn't matter what I did. She was smarter, prettier, more accomplished, at least that's how my family saw it. So, when I landed a great corporate job in Chicago last year, my family was surprised. And when I got put up for a promotion just a year later, they were even more shocked. I worked my ass off for it. I stayed late, took on extra projects, and made sure my work was the best. Everyone in my department said I was the obvious choice. Then, one day, my boss called me into his office. "We've decided to go in a different direction." I didn't get it. Fine. It sucked, but I moved on. Then I found out who got the promotion. Sophia. I didn't even know she worked at my company. Last weekend, my parents hosted a big family gathering. The usual crowd showed up, my aunts, uncles, cousins. I hadn't seen Sophia since I found out she got my promotion. But she found me. I was sitting at the dining table when my aunt asked a simple question. "How's work?" Before I could answer, Sophia smirked, swirling the wine in her glass like she was the damn Queen of England. "Oh, you mean my job," she said, her voice dripping with fake sweetness. "The one I stole?" The room got quieter, but a few people chuckled, thinking she was joking. I wasn't laughing. "What do you mean?" I asked, forcing my voice to stay calm. She leaned in slightly, just enough so only a few of us could hear. "Oh, you didn't know?" She giggled. "I sent fake emails from your account to HR, made you look like a real nightmare. Told them you were bad-mouthing your boss, talking about quitting, all kinds of stuff. Guess they didn't want someone like that leading the team." She took a slow sip of wine, watching my reaction. I could feel my heartbeat in my ears. She wanted me to be upset. She wanted me to explode. Instead, I took a deep breath and smiled. Because, see, what Sophia didn't know was that I had spoken to HR last week. And they had already sent me the emails. I reached into my bag, pulled out a red folder, and placed it on the table. "That's funny," I said, flipping open the first page. "Because HR just sent me these emails from you." The smirk on her face vanished. The conversation that was once quiet suddenly had the whole table's attention. My uncle furrowed his brows and grabbed the papers. "What is this?" he asked, scanning the pages. Sophia's mother leaned over his shoulder to read. Her face twisted in confusion. My dad took the papers next. As he read, his jaw clenched. It was all there. Every fake email. Every lie. Her signature. Her phrasing. Her IP address. She had made a mistake. She had used her work laptop to send the fake emails, thinking IT wouldn't track it. They did. And my former boss, Mr. Callahan, was standing right behind me. "Miss Sophia," he said in a cold, professional voice. "Would you like to explain why these emails were sent from your company-issued laptop?" Silence. I turned to look at her. She was frozen. Her wine glass trembled slightly in her grip. I don't know what this is," she stammered. "This isn't real." Mr. Callahan sighed, shaking his head. "We had our IT department investigate. It's very real. Every single email came from your company laptop, your home Wi-Fi. Your work account was logged in at the time. You didn't even try to cover your tracks." Her hands gripped the tablecloth. No, this is a mistake." "The only mistake was you thinking you wouldn't get caught," I said. The color drained from her face. Her father, my uncle, snatched the papers from my dad. "Sophia, tell me you didn't do this." She said nothing. Her mother, eyes wide in horror, covered her mouth. "Sophia," her father said again, this time with more force. She still didn't speak. And then Callahan dropped the final bomb. "Oh, and by the way," he said, pulling out his phone, "I recorded everything you just said a minute ago." He pressed play. Her voice rang out clearly. "I sent fake emails from your account to HR, made you look like a real nightmare." Gasps. My aunt nearly fell back in her chair. My dad swore under his breath. My uncle went pale. Sophia's mouth opened and closed like a fish. I could practically see her brain short-circuiting. "You," she choked out, looking at Callahan. "You recorded me?" "I had a feeling you'd admit to it," he said. "And now we have all the proof we need." Sophia turned to me, her eyes desperate. I was just kidding," she blurted. "It was a joke. I didn't actually do it. I was just messing with you." No one in the room believed her. Her mother started crying. Her father's face hardened. Mr. Callahan exhaled sharply and shook his head. "You're fired." Sophia looked like she was about to be sick. She turned to me, her eyes wide and pleading. Please, please, don't press charges. I'll fix it. I'll resign. I'll leave the company. You can have the job. I leaned back, pretending to think about it. Oh, you're definitely resigning, I said. But whether or not I press charges, well, that depends on my mood. The room exploded into chaos. Her father yelled. Her mother sobbed. My uncle, a lawyer, started talking about how many laws she just broke. Sophia sat there, frozen in shock. I stayed quiet, just watching her world crumble. Because, for the first time in my life, she wasn't the favorite anymore. Sophia sat there, pale as a ghost, gripping the table like it was the only thing keeping her from falling over. Her father, Uncle David, was still reading through the emails, his hands shaking with anger. Do you have any idea what you've done? He finally said, his voice eerily calm. Sophia swallowed hard. Dad, I just know. Shut up, he snapped, slamming the papers down. Do you even realize how illegal this is? Identity fraud, corporate sabotage, defamation. My aunt let out a choked sob, gripping her chest like she was about to faint. The rest of the family just sat there, stunned, eyes darting between Sophia and the mess she'd made. And then, out of nowhere, you can't prove it was me. Her voice was quiet, but the words hit the room like a bomb. Everyone froze. I blinked, barely believing what I just heard. Excuse me? Mr. Callahan said, raising an eyebrow. Sophia took a deep breath and straightened up, regaining a little of her composure. You have emails. Okay, but that doesn't mean I sent them. Someone could have used my laptop. Or maybe IT made a mistake. Or, Sophia, for God's sake, her mother whispered. But she kept going. You said you have my IP address? Who's to say someone else wasn't using my Wi-Fi? You can't prove I physically typed those emails. I never signed anything. I never put my name on it. There's no hard proof. I stared at her, disgusted. She knew she was caught, but she was already trying to slither her way out. Callahan tilted his head, amused. You do realize our IT department tracks keystrokes, right? He said. Sophia flinched. They recorded the exact times and locations of every email sent, he continued. They even have a screen recording of you typing some of them. Silence. Absolute silence. For the first time all night, Sophia looked genuinely afraid. But then she clenched her jaw and did the only thing she knew how to do. She doubled down. This is harassment, she spat. You're all ganging up on me. This isn't even about the job. You just want to humiliate me. She turned to her parents, desperate. Mom, Dad, are you really gonna let them treat me like this? Like some criminal? Uncle David shook his head. You're a criminal. Her face twisted in shock, as if it was just now sinking in that her own father was against her. That's when her brother, my cousin Ethan, finally spoke up. You always do this, Sophia, he muttered. She turned on him. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Ethan scoffed, leaning back in his chair. You act like you're better than everyone. You cheat, you lie, you sabotage people, and when you get caught, you play the victim. Her face went red. I don't, you do, he cut in. You think we don't remember what you did to Rachel? Or how you stole Taylor's internship? You do this all the time. Rachel, our cousin, shifted uncomfortably in her seat. Taylor, our other cousin, just shook his head. Sophia's mother wiped her tears, looking at her daughter like she was seeing her for the first time. Oh my God, she whispered. You really did this, didn't you? Sophia gritted her teeth, her eyes darting around the room, looking for someone, anyone, to take her side. No one did. That's when she made her biggest mistake. She tried to turn it on me. You set me up, she hissed. You just wanted revenge because I got the job. I laughed. Actually laughed. You admitted to it, Sophia, I reminded her. Out loud. In front of everyone. Her eyes flicked to Callahan's phone, still in his hand. That recording is illegal, she snapped. You can't use it. Callahan raised an eyebrow. Actually, in Illinois, it's perfectly legal to record conversations you're part of, he said. Nice try, though. She swallowed hard. Her mother put her face in her hands. Her father rubbed his temples. And then, just when I thought it couldn't get worse, my uncle stood up, slowly. We need to talk, he said. Now. But he wasn't talking to Sophia. He was talking to me. My stomach dropped. What? I asked, caught off guard. He motioned for me to follow him into the next room. I hesitated. Callahan gave me a small nod, as if to say go ahead. I got up and followed my uncle into my dad's office. He closed the door behind us. For a moment, he just stood there, rubbing his forehead like he was trying to choose his words carefully. I need you to let this go, he finally said. I blinked. Excuse me? He sighed. Listen, Sophia was wrong. I know that. But pressing charges, filing a lawsuit, it'll ruin her life. I just stared at him. She tried to ruin mine. He exhaled sharply, pinching the bridge of his nose. You're right. But this will destroy our family. Your aunt is already a mess. If this goes public, it'll be humiliating. You won, okay? She lost. Just let it go. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. You want me to drop this? I said, my voice rising. I'm asking you to, he said, his tone firm. I clenched my fists. Would you be saying this if I were the one who did it? He flinched, but didn't answer. That told me everything I needed to know. I took a deep breath, trying to keep my voice steady. You're a lawyer, right? I said. He nodded slowly. Then you know damn well that actions have consequences. His jaw tightened. This isn't just about Sophia, he muttered. Then who is it about? He hesitated. Then, finally, it's about your aunt. I froze. What? He ran a hand through his hair, suddenly looking exhausted. She's sick, he admitted. She hasn't told anyone yet. We just found out last month. I felt like the ground had been ripped out from under me. Sick? How? His voice was barely above a whisper. Breast cancer. I sucked in a sharp breath. She's already falling apart, he continued. If this goes to court, if Sophia gets arrested, I don't know if she can handle it. I need you to think about it. I stood there, heart pounding, mind racing. This wasn't part of the plan. I had every right to go after Sophia. But now, if I did, it might break my aunt in the process. And for the first time that night, I didn't know what to do. I stood there in my dad's office, staring at my uncle like I had just been punched in the gut. Breast cancer? I repeated, my voice barely above a whisper. Uncle David nodded, his expression heavy with exhaustion. She doesn't want anyone to know yet. She's starting treatment soon, but if this blows up, if Sophia gets arrested, it might push her over the edge. My brain was spinning. Minutes ago, I had the upper hand. I had one. And now? Now, I was being asked to walk away. To let the person who sabotaged me off the hook. To protect the very family that stood by and let her get away with things for years. I clenched my fists. You're asking me to just forget this happened? I said. I'm asking you to think about your aunt, he corrected. And what about me? I shot back. She tried to ruin my career. She bragged about it. Uncle David sighed. I know, he admitted. And I hate what she did. But if this goes to court, it won't just hurt Sophia. It'll destroy your aunt. I took a shaky breath, my mind racing. This was so like my family. Sweep things under the rug. Protect the golden child. I wanted to scream. I wanted to say no. And then, there was a knock at the door. We both turned as it slowly creaked open. And standing there, face pale and eyes wide, was Sophia. You're lying, she whispered. Her voice was small. For the first time all night, she looked genuinely vulnerable. You're making that up to get me out of this. Uncle David turned to face her. I wish I was, he said quietly. She swallowed hard, stepping into the office, her usual arrogance completely gone. Mom's really sick, she asked, voice shaky. She didn't want to tell you until after treatment started, Uncle David admitted. Sophia's hands started trembling. I watched her closely. Was this real? Or was it another act? Then, her expression twisted into something angry. This is your fault, she spat at me. You just had to bring this up at a family gathering. You could have handled this privately. But no, you had to humiliate me, stress Mom out, and now you're threatening to send me to jail? I actually laughed. Are you serious right now? I snapped. You did this to yourself. I didn't force you to send those emails. I didn't make you lie. And I sure as hell didn't make you brag about it in front of everyone. Sophia's hands balled into fists. If you go through with this, you'll be ruining Mom's life. She was deflecting. Again. But this time, I could see something else in her face. Panic. Not just about our aunt. Something else. And then I realized she was hiding something. You're scared, I said slowly, studying her reaction. Sophia's eyes darted away. I don't know what you're talking about, she muttered. Uncle David frowned. Sophia, he said sternly. She shifted uncomfortably, crossing her arms. This is already bad enough, she said. Can we just drop it and move on? The way she said it. The urgency in her voice. Something wasn't right. I stepped closer. What else did you do? I asked. Her head snapped up. Nothing, she said too quickly. Uncle David narrowed his eyes. Sophia, he repeated. She bit her lip. I could practically see her debating whether or not to come clean. And then, it wasn't just you, she blurted. I froze. What? She exhaled sharply, avoiding my gaze. I did it to other people too, okay? She muttered. I felt my stomach drop. Other people? Who? She squeezed her eyes shut. I don't know, coworkers. Other candidates. I sent fake complaints about them to HR. Sometimes I used different accounts. Sometimes I sent emails pretending to be them, bad-mouthing the company. It wasn't just you. It was anyone I thought might get ahead of me. My breath caught in my throat. Oh my God, Uncle David whispered. This wasn't just about me. Sophia had a pattern. A history. How many people? I asked, my voice eerily calm. She hesitated. 5? Maybe 6, she said weakly. I nearly screamed. You ruined at least 6 people's careers? She flinched. I didn't think it would get this far. I held up a hand, cutting her off. I needed a second to process this. It wasn't just my revenge anymore. It wasn't just about me. There were others. And if I let her walk away now, she'd do it again. Uncle David ran a shaky hand down his face. Jesus Christ, Sophia, he muttered. She swallowed hard. I can fix it, she whispered. Just, please don't go to the cops. I'll quit. I'll apologize. I'll do whatever you want. I stared at her. After everything, after all the lies, the gaslighting, the arrogance, she still thought she could manipulate her way out. And then a dark thought hit me. Does Mom know? I asked. Her face drained of color. What? I narrowed my eyes. Does your mother know what you've done? Or has she been defending you this whole time, thinking you're innocent? Sophia bit her lip. That was all I needed. I turned to Uncle David. She needs to know, I said. He hesitated, but nodded. I'll tell her, he said quietly. Sophia grabbed his arm. Dad, please, she begged. You don't have to, don't, he said sharply, shaking her off. You've lied enough tonight. Tears filled her eyes. For the first time, real fear crossed her face. Her mother, the one person who always defended her, was about to find out everything. I stood there, heart pounding, mind spinning. This wasn't just about getting revenge anymore. This was bigger. Sophia had wrecked multiple people's careers. If I stayed silent, more people could get hurt. But if I moved forward, it would shatter my family. And worst of all, my aunt, who was sick, would be caught in the middle of it all. I took a deep breath, locking eyes with Sophia. You deserve to go to jail, I said. She swallowed hard. But now, I have to decide if I want to be the one to put you there. Her breath hitched. Uncle David exhaled heavily. And in that moment, I knew, whatever I chose next would change everything. Silence stretched between us like a rubber band pulled too tight, ready to snap at the slightest movement. Sophia's face was pale, her hands shaking. Uncle David looked exhausted, his fingers pressed to his temple like he was trying to force away a headache. I could feel my own heart pounding. I had never been in this position before. I had never held this much power over someone, especially her. What are you going to do? Sophia whispered. I didn't answer right away, because I didn't know. I wanted justice. I wanted every person she had sabotaged to know the truth. But was I willing to watch my family fall apart in the process? Would my aunt survive it? Would I? Before I could say anything, the door suddenly swung open. And there she was. Sophia's mother. My aunt. She had been crying. Her eyes were swollen and red, her hands trembling at her sides. But the moment she looked at Sophia, her expression was unreadable. Mom, Sophia said, her voice cracking. Not a word, my aunt said, her voice hoarse. Sophia's mouth snapped shut. And then my aunt turned to me. Is it true? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. I nodded. Her lips pressed together, and she let out a slow, shaky breath. And you were going to press charges? Another nod. She closed her eyes for a long moment. Then she looked at Sophia again, and said the one thing no one in the family had ever dared to say to her. You disgust me. Sophia flinched as if she had been physically hit. Mom, please, she begged, reaching out. My aunt jerked away like Sophia's touch would burn her. Don't, she said sharply. Don't you dare try to play the victim. Not after everything you've done. Sophia's breathing turned ragged, panicked. I thought I was trying to what, Sophia? My aunt snapped, eyes blazing with fury. To get ahead? To ruin other people just so you could feel better about yourself. Sophia's lower lip trembled. I didn't think it would get this bad. You didn't think at all, my aunt shouted. I had never heard her yell before. The whole house had gone quiet. Everyone was listening. My uncle rubbed his face with both hands. She admitted there were others, he muttered. My aunt's head snapped toward him. Others? Her voice was deadly quiet. She did this to multiple people, I said. I wasn't the first. I wouldn't have been the last. My aunt's entire body stiffened. Then, slowly, she turned back to Sophia. You're a monster, she whispered. Sophia let out a strangled sob. No, Mom, please, shut up. Another wave of silence crashed over the room. Tears streamed down Sophia's face. Mom, I'm sorry, No, you're not, my aunt interrupted, voice cold. You're sorry because you got caught. Sophia shook her head frantically. I can fix this. How? My aunt snapped. Tell me, Sophia. How do you fix this? Do you give these people back their jobs? Do you erase the damage you've done? Sophia's mouth opened, but nothing came out. Because there was no way to fix it. My aunt covered her face, shoulders shaking. I raised a fraud, she whispered. Sophia let out a broken sob. Mom, please don't say that. My aunt dropped her hands. You did this to yourself, she said. I spent my entire life defending you, making excuses for you. And this whole time you've been lying. You've been destroying people. Sophia turned to my uncle. Dad, please, tell her I have nothing to say to you, he muttered, refusing to look at her. Sophia let out a strangled noise. She had never been ignored like this before. Never been abandoned. Never been truly alone. But she was now. And she knew it. Sophia wiped her tears, taking slow, shaky breaths. I'll make this right, she whispered, voice trembling. I crossed my arms. How? She didn't answer. She didn't have an answer. Because there was no way out of this. I exhaled sharply. I'm pressing charges, I finally said. Sophia let out a sharp gasp, her entire body stiffening. No, she whimpered. Please, no. I turned to my aunt. I'm sorry, I said. And I meant it. I was sorry for her. But not for Sophia. My aunt let out a shaky breath and gave me a nod. Do what you have to do, she said softly. Sophia started sobbing again. Mom, don't let her. I can't save you from this, my aunt said. Not this time. Sophia looked like she wanted to scream. Like she wanted to run. But there was nowhere left to go. Sophia was arrested 2 weeks later. She was charged with identity fraud, corporate sabotage, and defamation. Her company sued her for damages. She lost everything. No one in the family defended her. Not her parents. Not her brother. Not even my grandparents. The golden child had finally fallen. And for the first time in my life, I wasn't the one being told to try harder. I had won. Not just the revenge. But my freedom. And damn, it felt good.